taxpayers foot the bill. If anybody does get out, they come out a hardened criminal with no opportunity for employment or a future. It's time to realize that drug abuse is a public health issue, not a criminal issue. So in addition to urging the President to honor his pledge to support cannabis in the 29 states where it is legal, in addition to urging him to change the schedule in terms of the position in Schedule 1 so that doctors can prescribe cannabis, we're also going to urge the Trump administration to support additional federal funding at adequate levels for unbiased scientific research into the medicinal benefits and properties of cannabis. As I think most of you know, well-funded and large enough studies in Israel have already indicated incredible potential medical breakthroughs. It's time for us in the United States to have our own intensive studies and research to explore the incredible properties of this plant. And lastly, and perhaps this is the most important, in the event that we are unable to persuade the President to honor his pledge, and having known him 40 years, I can tell you several things. You can find this on the public record. He is himself a skeptic about the war on drugs, and he himself endorsed medical marijuana in the last election if he said that's what the people chose. And in many of these states that have legalized, as you know, that's not an easy process. In some places, you need 60% of the vote or more. You see, the process of legalization is controlled by Republicans and Democrats working together who like the status quo. And therefore, enormous credit must go to people like John Morgan. Sure, he had to try twice, but marijuana is legal in Florida today for medicinal purposes because of the courage of one man, because of the fortitude of one man, and that is my friend John Morgan. And therefore, there are John Morgans in every state, individuals, men and women, who have stepped forward to lead this fight, and my hat is off to you. But what happens if we are unable to persuade the President to honor his pledge? What if we are unable to persuade the President that the support of legal cannabis in 29 states is not only good public policy, it's also good politics? Well then, it's incumbent on us to build a coalition of liberal Democrats and libertarian-minded Republicans in the U.S. House and the Senate for the purposes of legalizing cannabis once and for all. We have the votes in the House today, folks. The dirty little secret is we probably have the votes in the lower body today. The votes probably exist in the House for a well-crafted legalization bill. The votes in the Senate would be tougher, but not impossible. So in my view, this is the fallback. This is the next stage of the fight. I intend to do everything I possibly can to persuade the President to keep his commitment to the millions of people who use cannabis for medical purposes and to those who are relying on state law for legalization of cannabis.